Hi, everybody. In today's Crafting and Crime episode, we're going to be talking about the conclusion of the Tyler Dazey murder case for the murder of his mother, Jennifer Dazey. Stay tuned. Hello, happy Saturday, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching. If you're new subscriber, I'm so glad to have you on board. My name is Rebecca, and I recap live trials so you have something to listen to while you're crafting. Today, I'm doing cross stitch. This is the Monster House Stitch Along by Satsuma Street. Jody Rice is the designer, and I'm slow with cross stitch. This is part one. Part two hasn't been released yet, but I'm not even halfway done with part one, so she could take her time releasing part two. Anyway, let's talk about the conclusion of the Tyler Dazey murder case. So, when last we spoke, both the defense and the state had rested, and the defendant was nowhere to be found. So, yesterday morning, Friday morning, they started off with closing arguments. Still, no defendant. He has chosen not to participate in his own trial, but I'll bet he's going to complain when it doesn't go his way. In any case, let's talk about the closing arguments. So we're up in Iowa for this one. Iowa or Idaho? Iowa. Yeah, Iowa. Sorry, something with an I. Anyway, uh, I, the state went through the facts of the case, the evidence, just exactly like I laid it out. But I picked up some things this time that I probably hadn't pointed out in the first, when I recapped this. So when they found Tyler Dazey that morning, when they were clearing the house, they found him in his room on the floor. I thought he was in the bed. He was on the floor. He was naked on the floor. When they first saw him, they thought, "Oh my God, he's dead too." He was not dead. He was just lying on the floor, face down, naked. When they got him to turn over, well, we know he had an erection, but that's beside the point. He had some abrasions on the back of his hand. So that is some pretty significant evidence. Um, then we learned that the hatchet and the knife that were used were a matching set. They were both the same brand, and Tyler had admitting to owning these and seeing the hatchet that morning. Now, the knife I told you was found in the kitchen on a small little side table in the kitchen, but the hatchet was found on a shelf above the toilet, which kind of makes sense because there wasn't a lot of evidence found on the hatchet. We know that there was some DNA of Jennifer, and we know that there was a palm print of Tyler. Now, under normal circumstances, you would expect to find a palm print of Tyler Dazey on a hatchet that he owns, but the fact that you found it in the bathroom, where it's likely that he took a shower, he says he did, and he probably destroyed all the evidence. That hatchet was probably wet. In any case, that's more evidence against him. Then he said Tyler only slept 1 hour that night. So this gave him time to contemplate the murder that he was going to commit that morning. Now, the defense got up and they argued lack of evidence. They said, did they plug all the holes? Did they only give you half the puzzle pieces? This is a normal defense tactic. But what they brought it up, and I mean, good points. Nick, the third child, there was Nick, Kylie, and Tyler, the three children of Jennifer Dazey. We know about Kylie because we know that one of the officers spent days tracking her movements on video camera, and we know that it really wasn't her, except that back door is very infrequently used, and there's only two people that have keys to unlock that back door. One is Kylie, one is Jen. And was she ever asked about that key? No. And we know that there were footprints going up to that back door on the steps of that back door. And then we got to Nick. he had left to go to a conference in Cedar Rapids, and they did see his vehicle leaving to go in that direction. But did they ever confirm that he showed up in Cedar Rapids, or did he turn around and come back? And they said he was seen on Ring camera letting the dog out. Where's the footage? Did we see it? No, we did not see that. Okay. But as the state pointed out when they got to conclude their closing arguments, Nick and Kylie's palm print were not on that hatchet. No. And the palm print was not smudged by some other print. So what else did we miss? Oh, the state, the detective who took Tyler to the hospital mentioned that one of the nurses was familiar with him. Well, apparently that nurse was a behavioral health nurse. Why wasn't Tyler taken to, and she was familiar with him? So that tells us, okay, tells the jury, okay, this guy's got a psychiatric history. Doesn't excuse what he did, but he's known to the behavioral health nurse. Okay. Then, and why didn't you get to see the interview video? Ooh, the state was out of their chair on that one. Objection. They go sidebar, they come back, and he doesn't really talk about it. But now the jury's heard. Now, why didn't we see that video? And I've been asking the same question. Why didn't we see that video? What is on that video? In any case, I mentioned that the hatchet was found in the bathroom. Yeah. And then Say said they were throwing mud balls against the wall, hoping some of them would stick, that the defense was. I like that saying. Never heard that saying before. But in any case, so the jury went out and was gone for 2 hours. 2 hours of deliberation. Probably had lunch, elected a foreperson, and then voted. But and then sat there and talked to make it seem like they were really deliberating, because there wasn't really a whole lot to decide. The only person home during the time period where she died is Tyler. His palm print is on the handle. He never denied having killed his mother or the dog. Why the dog? Well, why anybody? I mean, if you don't like mom and she's doing witchcraft, move out. You're 29 years old. Get the heck out of the house. Let mom do whatever the hell she wants. I'm sorry, just my opinion. So they come back after 2 hours. I'm going to let you hear the reading of the verdict.
Informed me that the jury has reached a verdict. We have not yet brought the jury in. For the record, when I was notified that there is a verdict, I had our head of security here contact jail staff. Jail staff spoke with the defendant, told him that there was a verdict, offered him the opportunity to come over in person for the reading of the verdict, offered him the opportunity to listen or participate by audio or by Zoom for the reading of the verdict. He declined all of those options and indicated he had no interest. So, Shelley, let's go ahead and bring the jury in.
He had no interest in hearing his fate. I'm telling you, this guy's not right in the head. We're just waiting for the jury to enter the courtroom, and they're making sure that, they don't show the jurors on camera. But they'll come back down to the judge in a second.
Please be seated, everyone. Okay, the record will reflect that we now have the jury back in the courtroom with us. The attorneys are present. It is Friday, July 19, 2024 at 1:51 p.m. The jury has informed the court attendant that they have reached a verdict. I see that the foreperson has the verdict with her. Ma'am, can you please hand that to the court attendant? Okay, this is the state of Iowa versus Tyler Dazey, FECR 153723. As to count one, on the charge of murder in the first degree, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tyler Dazey, guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree. That verdict form is signed by the foreperson. As to count two, on the charge of animal abuse, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tyler Dazey, guilty of the crime of animal abuse, and that verdict form is also signed by the foreperson. Is the state asking that the jury be polled? Is the defense?
We better, Your Honor.
Okay, so folks, the court attendant will poll you by reading your juror number.
All right, I'm going to take this down now. They did ask for the jury to be polled. It was done so by the court clerk, and you couldn't hear what she was saying when she did it. So we're just going to go ahead and conclude there. He was found guilty of first-degree premeditated malice aforethought. They thought it was proven with beyond a reasonable doubt that Tyler Dazey murdered his mother with the hatchet and or the knife or both. And then when he was finished with mom, he went and killed the dog, Echo. Poor Echo. Poor Jen Dazey. She survives brain cancer to be murdered by her son. I mean, so the sentencing has not been scheduled, and whether he will probably be required to attend his own sentencing. I would imagine, where we're going to hear victim impact statements and the like. So that's it for that case. So Monday morning we get the Black Swan ballerina murder trial. Yeah, for the murder of her husband. So stay tuned on Monday. Jury selection is Monday, but if they get done in a record amount of time, maybe we'll get some opening statements on Monday afternoon. If not, you'll see me recap Tuesday's trial. So have a great weekend, everybody. I will be live tomorrow at 11 Central, 11 a.m. Central. I don't do p.m. 11 a.m. Central. And usually what I do in that is I let subscribers show off their works in progress. I show off what I've been working on, and we just chit chat. We have some coffee and we talk about life. So I'll see you then or Tuesday. So have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye.